does the right fucking shit this time now.
Right. I'm kind of excited. I ordered a carburetor rebuild.
Welcome to the As the Rotors Turn podcast, only on the Cartoon Helicopter Network, with your host Diggs.
All right, I'm muted on there.
And Streaker 6.
All right, everybody, hold tight. I gotta get.
Don't forget to mute. Don't forget to mute Skype.
Yeah, Roger. Okay. All right, everybody. I had everything set up. I seriously had everything set up. We checked everything out an hour before, and then my audio decided it didn't want to fucking work as soon as I started the fucking show here. We're restarting it. I gotta.
That's what they've been doing.
I need to cut that down. Okay, so we got to go. Thinking we're good to go now. Now, of course,
what in the F?
With that being said, I need to set up all the web pages that I to get this kicked off, and I apologize. It happened.
While we're young, it does.
Right. And then I go to YouTube where I get really rolling here.
I bet it'll be about $1,200 to ride in the front of that motherfucker, man. You know, every year that these B-17s get older, the shit costs more to maintain them. Now I'm curious. Now I'm so curious.
You guys can still hear me, right? You can hear me too, right, Darkwood?
Yeah.
Okay, just making sure.
Not meant troll.
Come on now. All right, so here's what we're going to be doing tonight, everybody. We're going to be going through the change log. We're going to go through the patch notes. We're going to go through the patch notes.
Oh, dude, man, that makes me want to save up my money, bro.
Right, Roger.
Well, I'm looking at the prices to ride in that plane in August. Right, I've never left the ground in anything, bro. Yep. To ride in the waist gun, it's $475. The Bombardier Navigator seat in the nose is $850. Or you can ride a B-25, dude. Ah.
Right.
Like, let me get in the Top Gun. Let me spin the turret around, dude. Oh, that would be so sick, man. Man, your tail wheel is just too sensitive.
Hey, just give me a minute, everybody. Give me a minute. Give me a minute. I'm almost back to where I was prior to having to restart my computer to get my flipping audio. And why is that not on there? Of course, everything's fucking wrong. Everything's wrong. God damn it. Everything's wrong.
Corrected thrust and drag.
What's playing and why? All right. So let's frickin' get into this in just a second here. I'm almost there, guys. Sorry about the, like I say, the entire...
Yeah, there it is.
All right, I think I got this. All right, let's jump into the friggin' patch notes here, right? Up on the real quick. Guys, go along with us. All right, so for the 11th of July, 2024 patch notes, what do we get? We get Afghan map by Southwest.
A bunch of problems.
Afghan map by Eagle Dynamic. We'll get into that as we go.
And a bunch of fucking problems.
Right, and we also get the Flaming Cliffs 2024 pack, which kind of screwed everybody on their original FC3 pack. You know, to include myself, it's a good thing I don't use it that often, so... Now let's get into it though. Before we really bitch about anything, let's just kind of go through the patch notes real quick. All right, so what did we have originally? We had the F-15C, the A-10A, the Su-27, the J-11, the Su-33, the Su-25, the MiG-29, and the MiG-29S. I don't know what the hell the difference between the MiG-29 and MiG-29S is, other than the fact that they're just kind of trying to add in another aircraft, make it look like a bigger pack. Because all I ever realized is I got 6 planes, you know? Okay, but also now we get the F5, the F-86, and the MiG-15 in the
problems with that.
Non-full fidelity. Well, the problem is the people that have the FC3 pack can no longer access their pack. That'll be fixed. You know, we all got to realize that's gonna be fixed. However, we'll stop right here and expound on that just a little bit. In my opinion at least, that they were holding off for a bunch of bugs and issues that were happening with the patch and stuff. How did they not catch the people that had the pre-existing FC3 pack are no longer going to have it available? That's kind of my question.
Well, maybe Maybe if they would have released it early to a bunch of content creators, they would have been able to find that out.
Smart ass. Yes. I mean, that's really my only real question with this portion. And the issue that's happening with Eagle Dynamics right now with their patch. Because they did hold it off a couple of times, you would think maybe this is one of the things that they have found, but apparently it wasn't. You know what I mean? I guess that's just me, though. You know, we aren't here to bash the shit out of people. We're just here to give our opinions and stuff. You know what I mean? Of course, we got new campaigns. We're not going to really go over the campaigns much, even though these campaign makers do a great job making their campaigns, and they are worth every penny as far as I'm concerned. The only ones I've ever bought are the.
I'm looking at that.
The Hueys.
I'm looking at that AH-64 one.
Right. Exactly. Especially if you like playing.
I don't normally fuck with campaigns, right?
Buy them.
I normally don't fuck with them, but I might fuck with that just because it says the 4 Horsemen. I can play Metallica to that.
Right. I'm just saying. I know I bought 3 different campaigns off of the EVGA website, all for the Hueys, and every one of them are worth every penny I paid for. Have I completed any of them? Not a one. Haven't completed them. I've played them probably halfway through. But I'm going to tell you right now, they're worth every penny. To those that are maybe new to DC.
Wow.
You know.
Wow, man.
Especially when you're trying to learn a module. They help you immensely. Am I wrong there, Darkwood, or have you not tried any yet?
I haven't done a fucking campaign yet.
I mean,
not a never. Not a near.
Those Huey ones, the God, I can't even think of the names of them. Like the Argo campaign,
the Paradise Island, or whatever the fuck it was.
Paradise Lost.
Nope,
I mean,
not a never.
They're fucking awesome. I'm gonna say that much about them. So I don't want to minimize the new campaigns that are out. That's what I'm getting at. I don't want to minimize them, but at the same time, I don't want to spend as much time as we've already spent on them. As you know what I mean. So we're gonna kind of skip over that shit. All right. So
the new launcher.
Right. What do you think of the new launcher, Darkwood? I love it. I
I love the fucking video where the Chinook comes in and lands, man. I about ran outside and did laps around my house, man.
What, for a launcher? I don't see a
fucking Chinook, dude. You let the fucking video play on that bitch.
Oh, I did not let that happen. I just started going through it all of a sudden.
Bro, let the fucking video play, man. Let that shit play on your stream, dude. Show that shit on your stream if you can.
Oh, shit. I don't know.
It's fucking ridiculous, dude. When that Chinook comes in, you're like, man, why ain't we got that yet?
I ain't set up for that shit, right?
You fucking bastard.
I mean, I guess I probably could if I were to minimize a couple of things, but then that would make your camera view go away too, though.
No, don't worry about it. If you get a chance, though, let the whole fucking video play, man. You're like, wow. I was like, wow.
Yeah,
that shit looks great.
It's
basically like if you get Arma, if you've got Arma 3, and they have that launcher on your desktop. A lot of people, including you that don't play that much, go through Steam to open it. You know what I mean? I always went through that launcher.
Right.
The thing about the difference is this launcher has a fucking video that plays in it, man. It looks fucking great.
Right. And
it looks fucking great, dude.
I don't know. I went through the functionality of it all because I was reading on ED's Discord. A lot of people, or well, not a lot, a couple of people were bitching about it. I think it's fucking awesome. I don't know what the fuck they're bitching about, to be honest with you. I think it's fucking awesome. Good job, Eagle Dynamics. As far as I can tell right now, the 5 or so minutes that I spent rolling through it and just kind of checking things out, I think it's fucking awesome. That's just me though. I don't have
F-18 footage.
I got no complaints with it, and I ain't worried about. I don't want all the extra garbage of videos playing on. That just burns up my bandwidth. I could give a fuck less about that. I want to know about functionality. What's it do for me? I don't have to spend.
This shit looks good though, man.
I don't need to spend 1 to 3 minutes logging into the game to change my fucking settings anymore. That's what I know. That's what I know. You know. That's what I know. That's what I know about. All right, moving on. The new multiplayer.
Man, look at that. Doing that pivot turn. Doing that pivot turn move.
Pivot turn. Interface added to enhance respawn functionality with additional information and the ability to see exact respawn locations on the map and interact with them. Note that spawn locations icons are aggregated based on the map zoom level. A server tab has been added to the briefing images panel to the mission editor. This allows you to add images or an image as a header to the that the connected player sees before joining the coalition. Adjustments and additional features. This I know nothing about yet, so I don't really have any comments.
I know nothing.
I don't have any comments yet.
Don't even show that, man. That's not even cool showing that.
What, the new dynamic respawn slots?
No, it just showed the intruder. And then it shows the goddamn Corsair.
Oh, well, we ain't there yet. Hold tight, man. Don't jump ahead. Tight. New dynamic.
Oh, I'm watching the video.
Oh. Don't watch a video while we're trying to do this then, because we're talking about two separate things. New dynamic respawn slot system has been added to allow mission designers to set up airfields serving any aircraft respawn associated warehouse without need of editor. Airfields with active dynamic map with icon parking respawn request. We are coordinating with Moose. They are coordinating, with Moose, Mist, and CTLD developers for supporting the spawn methods and scripts. So that's great. I mean, they're working with the modders to make all this shit happen. You know, so that's a good thing. I mean, maybe, I don't know how their new
do you see the little side note there if you keep on reading? Keep reading, and then click on the little here.
Oh, where's the little here? Oh, right there.
It says additionally a specific dynamic spawns template was added to customize dynamic slots properties.
And I don't know how that's going to work.
So you can add even more restrictions on people. Yeah, it means you can add even more restrictions on what people can carry on their aircraft.
Which is fine.
They can't just load up. They just can't load up with whatever the F they want at the base.
Which is fine. Oh.
That's kind of nice.
NASA here wants to jump in and speak, so I'm going to invite him in to speak. But,
I just wanted to talk about...
Yeah, go for it.
My bad.
Go for it.
I just wanted to talk about the dynamic campaign slot, or the dynamic spawn slots. whatever they're calling it, the new spawn system. My take on it is it seems like it's a middle ground between being able to pick on the map and the old system that we have. I found that whenever I was loading into a server, I would have to like move aside one of the menus so I could look at the airfields.
Right?
So the old spawn spots, do you feel the old spawning system was better
I'll be right back.
at this point?
I think they should have fully committed the system that they have now.
Oh, could you?
Oh, okay.
But I did find a bug in the code where you can basically see every enemy unit from the spawn screen.
All right.
I'm not going to say it because I don't want anybody watching to be able to replicate it.
No,
But-
no. And that's exactly what they need at this point. You know, it's not that it's a, you know, they need to know what the issues are with their new system, if any. You know what I mean? I haven't.
Okay. Do you want me to say it?
Yeah, I haven't played it yet. I haven't played DCS since the patch. I've got it downloaded, but I haven't played it yet.
So basically, when you're in the spawn screen, you can see friendly aircraft.
Okay.
So if you click on a friendly aircraft and push F2, it puts you in the like a spectator sort of menu, and then you can click F10 and just see all the aircraft.
Oh.
So the issue with this is, let's say we're flying on Enigma's Cold War, I get shot down, all of a sudden I can provide information to you about where I got shot down from.
Well, is that much different than being able to jump into a JTAC slot? I mean, a lot different. I mean, if it's a
I would
huge
say that
difference, then yeah. But because I mean, most of the time we have no idea where the hell we were at when we got shot down, because we're not staring at the freaking F10 map while we're flying. So when people are like, "Well, where were you?" I'm like,
I guess
in this general vicinity." I mean, at least in my case.
I guess the biggest issue with it is that it bypasses the fog of war. So
Okay, yeah,
the JTAC slot has
I hear you. I get that. I get that. So
move on to the next thing.
Yeah, they got a little work to do on the dynamic respawn slots. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, pretty much. It feels like it was kind of a rushed out system. So I come from aisle 2, where it's all dynamic respawn slots.
Okay.
And this feels like they were going to try and copy aisle 2's homework, but just didn't do it right.
Gotcha. And I have no idea because I've never played IL2, so in that aspect. So moving on. AI ground. They added the ability for SAMs to evade harms, basically. Enabled by default, but can be disabled in the set options of evasion of arms. Units that detect the missile will turn off their radars and displace. Units that cannot move quickly will simply turn off their radars. The higher skill level, the higher the likelihood that the air defense will react to the incoming harm, I'm sure is what they meant. In all of us DCS players' minds. Well, I can tell you right now, when it comes to the contention server at least, fuck yeah, I love seeing that. I love seeing that. Because guess what? You can spend hours setting up an air defense system in a server, all to have it taken out in literally less than a minute. You know? nothing pisses you off more than seeing that, because people, launching shit from 30 miles away when the air defenses can only make it 15 miles, 12 miles. So I love seeing it. I don't have to have somebody sitting in the JTAC slot anymore, monitoring so that they can turn on and off the frickin' radar system. AI performance, demanding logic of target detection and line of sight checks have been moved to a parallel thread. This gives more headroom for the performance, especially on AI populated dedicated servers with large scale battles. This applies to ground, sea, airborne, and AI units. Do I completely understand that? Hell no. What do I understand of it? Servers are going to run a hell of a lot smoother that stick with what they already have for AI units, and they will slow down if they add a shit ton more. So in other words, they made a big performance to having AI units on the ground. So hopefully we're going to see a lot more AI units on the ground with a lot more servers now that they've fixed the performance a bit on this. I don't know how much it's been fixed, but at least hopefully it's been a little. Do you think they're nasty? They fixed it enough to where you see a lot more stuff and keep it up, keep the performance up, or no?
So, to be fully honest, I don't know. The server code and performance is like 5 steps above my understanding. Okay. But it does encourage me to hear that we're getting more units, because I think that's one of the things that DCS really lacks, is that in a lot of missions you have pretty much set objective zones. You're not really going to have the same random encounters that you have in real life, which is specifically an issue on servers, especially with the new Afghanistan map, who are focusing on coin. Like, this now gives you headroom as a server owner. Let's say there's an objective in a city, you can now place other smaller objectives around it, which allows for more communication and more teamwork.
True statement.
It also opens up more missions. So like a convoy escort mission could now be possible because you can just have more AI units. If that makes any sense.
Yep. Oh, hell yeah. And that's what I'm kind of looking forward to, is the fact that the servers can actually add more stuff to their servers to make it either A, more difficult, or more interesting. I mean, I can't wait.
Or just run better.
Yeah, or at least, just run better. And you know what? To be honest with you, with the majority of the servers that we have out there, they do optimize really well. They've done a good job optimizing really well. I mean, we can sit there and bitch and give them shit, but at the same time, I think they've actually optimized pretty well for the amount of shit that they actually, with what the engine is actually able to provide for. Up until now, hopefully we get a lot more performance. It's probably minimal, to be honest, at this point. But we shall see.
12-year-old engine.
Right.
Or a 15-year-old engine, you're only going to squeeze so much performance. It's like a old car. You can't put 1,000 horsepower in the Model T. Just isn't going to happen.
Well, you
can.
Yeah, you can. Put some.
Well, it'll break very quickly.
No, you just need to.
It's built in Detroit.
You just need to reinforce that frame, brother. That's all you got to do. Okay, so we're gonna kind of very quickly skip past these ones. Okay, updated a few 3D models for, you know, the M1A2 and all that stuff that nobody really gives a rat's ass about. We're gonna skip past that because nobody really cares. AI aircraft, new combat landing option for AI helicopters. That'll be pretty cool when you actually visually see it. Not going to happen very often in game, to be honest with you, if you actually see that stuff. But when you do see it, it's going to be cool as shit. AI aircraft, helicopters, train collision checks. Moved. Apparently a performance. RTB on bingo with no airbase in their flight plan. Okay. They're going to actually divert to a base and now instead just circle until they run out of gas and crash. Helicopters will now correctly fly their route. Times orbit.
See all these right here, right?
A lot of these things we
you
just
could, like,
kind of.
if you could like highlight all of these, right? Put them into one little category. Like if you could put them all into one category, be like, this will improve your gameplay.
Yes. Gameplay improvement right here. Okay.
Weapons, right?
Yeah. Good.
That's
call,
what's
Darkwood.
important.
Good call, Darkwood. So where the
Like all these things right here are improving your gameplay.
Yep. F10 map.
Like the F10 maps, right? And detection rings. You know?
Yep.
That should have been like that.
They're always visible and can't be toggled off anymore. Fixed. So they can be toggled off now. Okay, and menu, graphics, shadows on the surface. SSS enabled, okay. A lot of shit. A lot of garbage that
Yep, the picture,
really gives a
fix your
stuff.
shit, make your shit.
I went
The
through
weapons
this
though,
earlier.
like they added the AG, like they fixed the weapons and
right.
corrected delayed fuse bombs deceleration in buildings and ships.
Right.
Like what?
We'll drop down here to the train engine now here, and they improved the clip map technology, so hopefully we don't clip as much, you know, into the ground like we used to.
Yeah.
There's field and town material for more realistic experience. Great. It always looked good to me.
Oh yeah.
If it looks better, great, you know, but at the same time, always look. Added a bunch of weapons.
Yeah, that's what I was saying, like the AGM. Those are fixes.
Yeah. Well,
those are fixes.
Well, they added the AS5K rockets and supporting the loadout options, stuff like that. You know, they're either added or fixes. Is there anything in there that sets you apart here for really caring? Honestly?
No. What mainly I'm looking at right now is right below weapons where it says radar inoperative problem fixed by Eagle Dynamics.
Yes, for the F-15E owners, bravo. I don't own a F-15E. However, I've felt for all of you that have been having issues with your F-15E. The F-16C Viper, on the other hand, Eagle Dynamics, they introduced false targets. Great. Does that mean, what's that mean? Does that mean that they aren't going to be able to track me behind a mountain 40 miles away anymore?
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, don't really care. No, they fixed a bunch of stuff.
Exactly.
They fixed a bunch of stuff with the F-16. You know, did the same thing with the F-18. Does that mean you're not going to be able to track me in a helicopter behind a mountain 40 miles away anymore? I hope so. I doubt it though. Maybe it'll give them a false target, and maybe it'll hit something other than me instead. They fixed a bunch of shit. A10C, night vision goggles. They fixed the, HMCS being goggles around.
Right.
Big 15. I know there's a lot of good stuff in here yet. I was reading through it earlier.
The Apache, though.
Yeah, I
The
mean,
Apache's got
they
some
fixed,
stuff. They're removing the center tank empty.
Right. And they fixed a bunch of shit, like especially for the multiplayer stuff, with the burst limit being inoperative, the CPG would hear 5 rounds no matter what he'd put, and the pilot would hear 1. I remember that just from reading it earlier. I never had that issue myself.
Here's right. So if we read the note at the bottom,
yep.
Much of the AH-64D work is focused on the ATA and RMAP modes of fire control radar. Later this year.
What's that really mean, though? Does that mean Does that mean it's
that means
actually going to
get stingers?
Does that mean we
might get stingers?
Oh, true statement. True statement. They do need that. Super carrier.
I am the greatest.
Super carrier. We finally got the air boss.
Go lay down, dude. It's not even fucking thundering. Go on.
Phantom 2.
God, y'all are some bitches, man. Like people are shooting fireworks off or something. My bad.
So, with the Phantom, we get some performance optimizations again. And now this time they make a bunch of other fixes. Performance and HBUI rendering and stuff like that. Yesterday, they made
supposed to be something going on with the multi-crew.
Right, they did. That was one thing that I really wanted to hit on. Is there was something in multi-crew in here that I noticed earlier? And of course, I'm scrolling past it. Where the hell was it?
Hey, Cold Claws raised his hand.
He did. Get him in here. What's going on, Cold Claws? What's going on, Claus?
Hello? Okay, hey, go.
You are here.
It's not good. I don't think it's going very good. This patch is not it.
It really isn't. It really isn't. They got a lot of shit going on here. They've done a lot of stuff. We got to give them that.
I don't even know where to start.
Well, hang on a second.
Hang on.
We'll save that one for the Cold Claws report in a second here. We'll do that exactly as soon as I'm done with going through the patch notes here real quick. You don't mind? Because I know you're going to go off on a tangent on it, brother. You know a hell of a lot more about it than me because I haven't played none of it. I haven't
added smoke generators.
I haven't actually played it yet, but I've read a lot.
Right, and I've done a lot of reading too. Probably not as much as you. Tomcat got a bunch of new stuff. Shit blows up now if you don't manage your fires in your engines. I read that earlier. I'm not reading it now. Flap damage model, they'll actually go back up again, even if you overspeed them or over GM. Doesn't mean that they work. It just means they'll go back up, And I'm assuming that means according to your speed, the end will push them back up or something if you have them in the up position, but they'll drop again when you slow down. Is kind of my guess. We'll kind of skip past that. Vegan, I didn't go through very much when I was reading earlier because own it, don't
Look
care
how much
though.
there is.
I know they fixed a lot of shit.
Look how much shit there is.
Right. I mean, the biggest stuff I guess I wanted to go through is not the airplane fixes, but just kind of the big airplane fixes, you know? Or airframe. And, you know, to be honest with you, they fixed the Iowa sideways flight bug, so they think, you know, as far as they can tell. And they
still
fixed the
fixed
sound,
the
and they
tail
fixed the
motor
sound, you know, which is great.
Did you skip over the Tomcat?
I did. There's a lot of shit going on.
Because it
with
says at the
Tomcat.
top. It says at the top, new. It says new, complete rework of all F-14 engine sounds, cockpit and external.
Yep. And I just kind of blasted through it real quick because I heard it earlier. Okay. If you don't manage your engine fires now, you blow up.
Yeah, they'll blow up. Yeah, that's sweet, man.
And if you break your flaps, it sounds like you can get them to go back up again as long as you have them in the up position. That's what it sounds like to me by reading the patch notes here. But they're still broken. You're not going to be able to up and down, but according to your airspeed, they'll go up again. They won't be stuck down like they used to be, is kind of what I'm guessing. There's a new oil leak animation, you know, little things like that. Great. Hind.
Improved engine fire animation.
Right.
So it's like new compressor stall flame, so you can recreate when Maverick has a flame out.
Pretty much. So with that, we are gonna jump in to the freaking Cold Claws report here because I know he's freaking biting at the freaking bit. Go through.
Yeah, you know it.
Go for it.
Okay, I legit. Okay, I'll start with. I can't find FC3 planes anymore. I downloaded the patch, and the first thing I see is modules. The following modules will not be authorized, and it lists like all the 4 like FC3 modules. I mean, which is it lists them, and this is really bad because. The Su-27 is an FC3 plane, and that's like my main plane right now. Like I've been playing Contention recently because I'm banned from from Enigmas, and like I can't play it. And I was recently told that.
Go for it. How'd you get banned from Enigmas?
Because this like the one of the. It was technically combat logging, but what happened in reality was my internet shit itself, and I got a connection timeout. But the disgusting mod used that as an excuse to ban me for finally. I mean, but it's whatever. I can just use all accounts, but I haven't gone on that. But even besides that, I haven't gone on the server in like at least a week. But I mean, it's what I mean. I'm playing Contention now, which is with the Su-27. So, and even if I wasn't banned on Enigmas, that server is still kind of like fucked up. Like, I mean, it's really fucked up because of the patch, and I'll get into that. Like, so they add all these dynamic spawns where you can spawn on the map or whatever. Mm-hmm. Like you click, like when you load in, you click on the map, like the airfields, to choose where you spawn. And that barely works because it just like lags out the screen. You read it in Enigma's Discord or the Heatbird Discord, and just like load like just walls and walls of text. People complaining like I can't load in, or when I click the spawn and then I only have 1 FPS. In fact, one of the Contention people just told me that they're basically all just wait. They're like only waiting for a hot fix. Like right now, like so many people can barely play the game. And last night I was on contention, and the server was full like pretty much all night. And now it has like 35 people. Its population was almost halved, and it's like, and again, there's no FC3 plane, so there's the only thing I can really fly now is like the Mi-8 and just go back to go spam SAMs. But why would I even want to do that when there's like only 20 people on the server? And I also heard that the spotting dots are messed up and gone now.
Well, why would you want to do that? Because you want
to spam SAMs?
Yeah.
Because it's funny. It's like Control Blue.
Set up. You can actually get them set up.
I
mean, apparently, according to the patch notes, you know, the harms ain't gonna fuck you over as bad as they used to. You know, for those of us that like to spam them.
Well, that's good for SAM spammers.
Right, exactly. That's what I'm saying.
But,
you know, spend 2 hours setting up spam network to have taken out without even ever getting in harm's way.
Well,
you know,
I mean, you can just repair it.
Within a
like
minute.
the SA2, like
within a minute.
Yeah, but you can repair it within a minute. Like the whole like.
Oh, can you?
The whole like Samsung like CCLD thing like is pretty broken, and plus you can have someone who has like tactical commander permissions on the server, just turn the SAMs off like while harms are being launched at them. Like there's plenty of counterplay to it.
Yeah, but you got to have somebody that has tactical command. A. B.
I mean, I'm friends with a lot of tactical. I'm friends with like several TACOMs.
B, you need somebody that needs tactical command that wants to actually sit on there and turn them on and off.
I got friends that do that.
You know,
I had a few friends.
I know a couple of guys that will or have that will only do it for a certain amount of time. You know what I mean? Before they want to jump in an airframe and actually go do something. So.
It's fair.
It's a good thing. Good thing that they're actually fixing that. Oh, hopefully.
No, yeah, I certainly agree. But where was I at?
It's very disheartening to spend 2 hours setting up a SAM network, and everybody's like, "What takes you 2 hours?" Well, I don't fly 3 miles away, you fucktard. You know,
I mean, you should. It's much more efficient that way.
I go about frickin' 8-10 miles out, you know, and set up my SAM network. You know what I mean? Yeah,
that's very inefficient to do.
Sure, it's more efficient, but it catches more people off guard too, though. To be honest.
Well, like a Hawk or an SA2 have like 30 miles of range. So like going 10 miles out with like a Hawk or like an SA2 is like mathematically much more inefficient than like going 10 miles out with like a Stinger sight or like a SA13 sight, which is it's a IR SAM, but like a small like IR SAM that has like much shorter range.
I'm just saying those are the lazy helicopter pilots that go 3 miles out.
I mean, I'm more like metagamers. Like I remember me and like one of my friends. It was just the two of us. We literally we spent like 4 hours just defending Hama from like 20 blues because we would just keep spam repairing the SA2 like 3 miles north of Hama.
Dude,
I mean it's really funny. You can get more kills than flying a fixed wing that way.
Been there, done that in a freaking Gazelle defending a freaking airfield. You know, and
I'm waiting for the Gazelle to go red on contention.
And it was like literally the last airfield that Red needed to capture, and they're like, "Just let us capture it already." I'm like, "Go fuck yourself." You know, I mean, it's like I didn't say it like that, but they're like, well, "Just let us capture it already, so we can switch to the next map, right?" And I said, You know what my response was? Which was
What?
truthful. Well, if all you blue players wouldn't have switched to red because blue was kicking red's ass, the map would have already switched long ago. Tweet.
Yeah, I guess.
It was nothing but crickets because they knew I was right. Because you know what? 3 days prior to that, blue had one airbase to take over, to capture and change the map. And then all of a sudden, 3 days later, red is already...
Red won the campaign.
Red is already, all of a sudden, you know, one base away from capturing the map. The campaign.
That was funny as hell. No, they won the campaign as well.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, don't sit there and whine to me that I won't stop fucking defending this base when you guys switch sides so that you could have red win.
I think red might get nerfed soon on contention because red's kind of been like winning lately. I think they won the last 2 campaigns in a row, and I've noticed that there's like a lot more red players now on contention. I think they all came from Enigmas, like because Enigma's like population has like, I mean, like I got banned at the perfect time on Enigmas because like the population has like kind of shrunk since Hepo took over the server because they increased the F4 credit cost. So like the server's actually like that kind of effed over the population.
For the F4 now?
Yeah, it's 5 credits to delay the stack. Which personally, I mean, I'm honestly in favor of just like removing the fucking credit cost because
that's fucking stupid.
Blue can't really operate without like a serious like stack.
That's fucking stupid. The F4 and the MiG-21 are fucking the adversaries. I can understand.
Yeah, well, the F4 is much more popular.
I can understand, you know, the F14 being a credit cost, but putting a credit cost on the F4, that's fucking retarded.
Well, it's not because it's OP. It's because there'd be a
doesn't matter.
Fucking stack.
Doesn't matter. Don't care.
I mean, it's whatever. I mean, I tend to agree, but just there because again, like. Blue can't really operate if like they don't outnumber you like 3-1 or 4-1.
It's fucking stupid, is what it is. It's fucking stupid. You know, in my opinion.
I wouldn't say stupid, but I definitely tend to disagree with it.
I'd say stupid.
Because like people love to complain about stacks, but
the F4 MiG-21. They're supposed to be the head-to-head adversaries. Those are the top 2 planes, literally, for Enigma's Cold War server, or the Heapler Cold War server. They're the head. Yeah, they're the head-to-head adversaries right there. They're the top-tier adversaries. You know, and the MiG-29 and the F-14 are just added in to appease people.
So, Streaker, do you mind if I jump in real quick?
Go for it. Go for it, NASA.
So, you know the bug that I was telling you about earlier, where you can see all enemy units from the spectator view?
Yeah.
And you were asking, well, what's the competitive advantage there? I can already do that, you know?
Okay.
Normally.
Right.
I can see every ground unit on the map. I can see every aircraft on the map. I can see what type of SAMs are on the map.
That's an issue. That's an issue then, as opposed to the way it used to be with the JTAC.
Yeah, this is so much more than just a JTAC.
Right. They'll get it fixed. It'll take a couple patches, but they'll get it fixed. No.
Yeah, I'm so glad I can wait like 2 weeks or whatever to not fly the modules that I paid for. I think the one fix is I can buy FC2024. Yeah, I really want to spend $15 to buy planes I already have where I can't click the cockpit.
Right.
The one good thing, I mean, I'm coping my ass off because it'll never happen. The one good thing you might be able to take away from this is they posted like a video on their YouTube channel, Eagle Dynamics, of like the FC2024 like new stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I posted a comment like they said like the video is like introducing like 3 new like FC2024 aircraft to like introduce players like new players like an easier way to enter the game. And I posted a comment on the video saying
I'll be playing that video here shortly. So I know exactly.
I posted a comment on the video saying, "Can you please make FC2024? I mean, like Flaming Cliff style aircraft of modern Russian jets?" Because I also said like Flaming Cliffs isn't just for people who want to like simplified planes. It's also for people who want to play aircraft that can't be fully simulated within DCS. Though last time I did kind of go on a rant about how like the FC3 hate is like pretty retarded because they're actually quite well modeled, even compared to the quote unquote full fidelity airplanes in within DCS. Yep. But anyway, to simplify, like I hope they read my comment and consider like, can you add like Flaming Cliff style like modern Russian aircraft, like a Flaming Cliff's like like a Su-27 SM, like not the current Su-27 we have, like one like more modern. I think that would like make people pretty happy or whatever. Like the Su-34, that like it's basically like the Russian Strike Eagle or whatever.
Right.
If they could do something like that.
It's okay to fake the funk. It's a game. They still fake the funk on the full fidelities. You know, so
yeah.
You don't need to be ultra realistic. You just need to be. Does it seem realistic to us fucking idiots that aren't actual freaking combat pilots in those aircraft? Does it seem realistic? Yep.
I don't.
Yep.
I don't think this full fidelity shit that ED does is like sustainable. Because they'll eventually run out of content to model, and in fact you can kind of already see it because they released Afghanistan or Afghanistan as it's called, and like even that map kind of like looks like shit, and they're announcing less and less modules. Like I don't think any modules were announced in 2024. I mean, I guess technically the full fidelity MiG-29 was announced in the 2024 and beyond video, but that was talked about. That was talked about for years in the making. Right. It just they're running out of things to model because you can't model everything in full fidelity or like full fidelity as they call it. So they're going to have to. What will they do? They'll probably double down because like the higher ups they're not the best. If they were smart, they would like try and branch out with like Flaming Cliff style things. But again, they're just going to double down. And we're never going to have properly simulated planes with the correct eras. And I'm going to have to wait at least 2 weeks to fly the Su-27 again. Like, there's no point in playing DCS right now. After this, I'm probably just going to like ask my brother and sister to go play Mario Party or something because I can't play
Mario Party.
Yeah, on the GameCube.
I've been playing this.
So you asked my rants.
I've been playing a lot of Star Citizen lately. Not gonna lie. You know.
Yeah, I don't blame you.
And
who plays DCS?
I've been playing Work on the Jeep. That's what I've been playing.
Do I still love the shit out of DCS? Fuck yeah! It's gonna be it's probably gonna be my all-time favorite game for many years still. Right. However, you know, we're all just kind of. I think we're all just kind of burning out a little bit, and that's why I'm kind of taking a little breather. I'm going back to Star Citizen for a while.
Come on, man. We're not burning out, bro. I'm not burnt out. I'm let down.
Maybe not. Well, I'm not even really let.
I don't even want to open DCS hearing all these fucking problems.
Well, yeah, right now, this patch, I'm not feeling real enthused about trying to open it up. Don't get me wrong. Am I worried that they're not gonna fix it? Hell no. You know, they're gonna fix shit. They're gonna get it. They're gonna get it back up and running. They're gonna get it back up and running better than what we had before.
But it's pretty much what Cold Claws is saying. Like, why'd you even release this shit?
Yeah, I was kind of wondering the same thing too. You know, they said they were holding off.
Why did you even release this shit?
They said they were holding off because they had a bunch of freaking issues, and you know, quite honestly, why?
More like their issues were they were on extended vacation. They extended their vacation at some location.
Right?
Like they were having too good of a time. Like, well, we'll be back in about a week and we'll release it then.
Yeah. Why did you even? What was the fucking point in even releasing this then? You know what I mean? What they've got right now. If they're holding off already, why did they release this? What they've got right now. That's my question. If they thought what they had before was shit, that must have been like alpha level, you know, new game, fucking never been fucking tried before garbage. From what I'm hearing from this patch, I haven't tried it yet.
Go lay down.
From what I'm hearing, you know, it's like you're not appeasing customers
with the Afghanistan
by putting out this stuff. Now, on the other hand, you're not appeasing customers by saying we're gonna put out this patch. We're gonna have this, and this. But you know, you almost had it. You know, they ain't gonna get that either. Here's my aspect, and I'm not trying to be a dick about this shit. I'm not trying to be a dick about this shit. It all boils down to piss poor project management. I don't care who the project manager is. It's bad project management. You got to have your 30, 60, 90, 120, 150 day plans. You know, you got to have those plans at a bare minimum. At 30 days out, you should be locked and loaded. This is our patch. You know what I mean? This is our new patch before you even announce it. It's locked and loaded. It's 100%. You know, it boils down.
The problem is they have.
It boils down
the problem is they have at most. They have at most like 50, which is not a lot. That's at most 50. Probably realistically, they probably have like 20, like underpaid Russian devs. Like they're just like probably just like having them. I mean, they're trying to like squeeze as much as they can out of like a very small amount of like devs from like one country. So it's a little wonder like why is everything kind of just like suck ass. Like all the top management is kind of like from another country, and then all the devs are like, the majority of devs in this game are still Russian because it's much cheaper to pay them. It's much cheaper to pay a Russian than it is to pay a European or an American because of like the currency exchange value.
Right.
So they're squeezing as much as they can out of them for as little money.
It ain't
possible.
it ain't like they're paying motherfuckers in Thailand or Filipino money.
Right.
It's not that cheap.
I mean, the major issue is that DCS can't hire the programmers that other games can, like CSGO or, you know, even Microsoft Flight Simulator. They have enough money to hire American devs. When you have Russian devs, you kind of are getting everybody who wasn't good enough at coding to get out of Russia, because anybody who's good enough at coding to get out of Russia got out of Russia.
Somebody's got their hand up.
Well,
Exactly. It's somebody who.
it's
No, literally, somebody's got their hand up.
oh.
Okay, well, thanks for letting me rant. I'm gonna go do something else later, guys.
All right, roger
Yep.
that. Good talking to you, Cold Claws. Always is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
Here's
how don't they have the money?
Well, here's the thing. Regardless of anything, it still boils down to piss poor project management. Am I right? Am I right or not, Sally, Mr. Manager at Boeing? He ain't saying. With that being said, do you guys mind if I go take a whiz real quick, or what? Got this covered for me there, NASA, while Darkwood's gone, apparently?
Yeah,
ready.
sure, I can.
My back teeth
I'll
are
talk
floating
about
there,
some stuff.
guys, so, I mean, I'll be right back. It'll take me. And
I'll try and cover
I
for
am
you.
sitting here drinking Southern Comfort in my little coffee mug, by the way. If you haven't noticed, like, my difference in demeanor. So,
Once you get back, do you want to talk about the multiplayer capability of the Afghanistan map?
well, what I kind of want to do is I want to kind of move on to the what's in it, stuff like
Alright.
that. I'm not trying to bash ED this entire time. You know what I mean? I am totally not trying
Honestly,
to
I
bash ED. When I say it's piss poor project management, I don't mean that just towards ED. I mean that towards 100% of every freaking game development company nowadays. Every goddamn last one of them. Because they think they're untouchable because, you know what? Every fucking white knight out there is game development is hard. Can you do it? No, I can't.
Yeah, it's hard.
I'm a fucking construction worker. Can you fucking build a house? You
Now
know,
listen, they're in an office building with air conditioning.
right,
It's hard.
right.
Gotta have the right chair, the right desk, you know.
No, it's hard. Don't get me wrong. I know. I try to delve into this shit. I try to learn it. You know, I know it's hard. Mentally, it's fucking hard. But you know what? Everybody has a hard job, and everybody has a project manager. Every fucking big company has a project manager. And you know what?
Absolutely.
You know what it falls on? You know what it fucking falls on? Every goddamn time there's a major fucking delay, it's the fucking project manager. Why? It's not because they're the guy out there doing the shit on their own, right? It's because they're the guy that didn't decide to put a delay on that shit early on. And not say, here, I'm going to promise you this. And then not deliver. Because it's the project manager that's saying, hey, you're getting this on this date. It ain't the fucking people doing the work that are saying that. It's the project manager saying that.
Yep.
So when the project manager gets a clue and understands that they just ain't gonna hit that date, they need to let people know we ain't gonna hit that fucking date. Not 3 days before, a week before, when it comes to game development.
I got something to say about that streak.
Project
We got
managers.
we got managers.
Yep, go for it.
So we got managers who have their managers, second levels, and their managers are third levels. So we tell our manager we're not going to make the 17th on a schedule. They're like, okay, I'll talk to their manager, which is the second level.
Yep.
Second level comes back and goes, no, we're going to fly on the 17th. We're like, no, because they don't want to hear it because they have a schedule, air quotes, schedule, that we
Right.
don't work by.
Right.
And everything is a goddamn schedule, and they don't want to move it because it makes them look bad.
Right.
So then they release it, and you get this shit. You're like, well, what the fuck happened? It's the workers' fault now,
No, and
which it is not.
it is not, and that's what was I saying? Project manager,
It's not the workers' fault. Yep.
fucking project
Yep.
manager's fault.
Well, it's like Legionnaire said in the chat.
I'll be right back, guys.
Legionnaire said it perfect in the chat. What if I performed in my ambulance the way game devs perform?
Ooh.
Like, I'm just going to push half as hard on this motherfucker's chest. And then I'm going to freeze up on the fourth one.
I would understand if it had.
And then wait 10 seconds and then restart.
I would get it if it happened 1 in every 3 patches. 1 in every 3 patches you make mistakes.
This isn't the first time this has happened.
It happens every time.
That's why I'm staying the fuck away from it.
Delay, which
I haven't
seems to
downloaded
indicate not a issue of we're finding bugs at the last minute. It's that we were trying to push out as much content as possible and we didn't meet our deadlines.
I think they were trying to push this patch because they didn't release the 47. They're trying to give us some kibbles versus the meal that they promised. See what I'm saying?
I've lost all faith in them, so I don't really give a fuck what they do anymore.
Yeah, I agree.
At least when High Tech said he was going to release something, it fucking released, and it worked.
That's a fact. Been there, done that.
One of the major issues in DCS is that Eagle Dynamics doesn't really create much of the content. I feel like the server owners and modders create more content than Eagle Dynamics does.
Well, true. I agree with that to a point.
Because how many of us would be playing, or even in the server, if there wasn't server owners creating multiplayer missions, even creating single player missions, and making those fun and enjoyable?
Well, I enjoy Darkwood having his server and allowing us to go to the server and practice without having to go to one of those ED servers.
Or Enigma.
Correct. Absolutely 100%. I'm glad we have the resources, our people in our squad.
All right, where are we with this? What did I miss?
This whole time you were not here.
Fucking
Yes.
2.9.
Yeah, well, I had to go take a quick whiz. That's what I said. So I'm back.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
fine. I was just saying that I was.
Oh, you
glad
had to
that-
go. You had to go 10-100.
Oh my God, my back teeth were floating. I'm sorry, everybody. I had to go.
Better than the 10-200.
Right. Plus, I had to refill my Southern.
I'm proud of you, Streak. Very proud of you.
Yeah, you shouldn't be. By the time I'm done with this mug, it'll be about 3/4 of a freaking liter of Southern.
I'm just happy you're having fun. I appreciate that.
I mean, what is fidelity? What is the fidelity of DCS modules, Legionnaire? What really is the fidelity of it?
Were we still on project
The
management,
fucked
or
up
am
ability?
I totally off base now? Am I totally off base now?
I don't think you're off base.
Well, I mean, am I totally off the discussion now? I went because I can tell you about.
No, I'm just let down. I'm just so let down with Ego Dynamics. I could give a fuck less what they do anymore. That's where I'm at. If I can log in and play in my Huey or my Apache, or do whatever the things I want to do, then that's fine. But I'm not fucking waiting on shit from them.
Yeah, now,
Agreed.
now when people are listening to this podcast, if they listen this far, you know, they need to understand. They need to understand that we are all passionate about this game and we really like this game, and that's the reason why we bitch about this game. It isn't because we're here to
Absolutely.
bitch about the goddamn game. We want to hopefully help improve.
We expect more.
We
went over the
we
patch
we
notes,
improve
which
it.
nobody ever fucking does,
right. We hope to improve,
and now we're discussing it.
Well, yeah, and we hope to improve what we are getting in return from our investments into the game. You know, because we're buying early access shit, and it's like we're buying pre-purchase or pre-launch shit, fucking the whole nine yards. So it's not like we're not being supportive of the game. You know, I mean,
correct.
And I will always defer back to Star Citizen in my case. You know, I've spent a fuck ton of money in Star Citizen, not as much as a lot more people than me, but you know, when I got almost $2,300 into fucking Star Citizen, it ain't even fucking out of alpha yet. That's telling you how devoted I will be to a game. You know, that's what I'm getting.
I spent money like that on Grand Theft Auto.
That's what I'm getting.
Right.
That's what I'm
No, fucking Legionnaire, they're dangling a big old carrot. They're dangling a big old carrot in front of Star Trek nerds.
Grand Theft Auto is actually a game, though. It's a release game.
Right, it's a very enjoyable game.
Release game. Star Citizen Alpha. Let's not get into that. We're in DCS right now. Well, I'll do Star Citizen on fucking Streakers. I just use that as an example, you know, for here. However, like I say, yeah, they don't want to hear it, but you know, a lot of it, 90% of it boils down to their project management, where it's pissing off customers on the DCS.
And why would you want to do that? That's what upsets me. Why do you want to piss them off?
Make sure you remind the viewers that there's a giveaway mission.
Yes.
On the 20th of this month.
20th of this month, 9 days from now. Not this Saturday, but next Saturday. Darkwood is pulling out of his own pocket money to give away a Chinook if you can win his mission. There will be a lot of people playing that mission. It's not going to be easy to start with. And at the very end, all your buddies that were helping you are going to be against you so that they can grab that crate and win the freaking prize. Just to let you know. That's something.
Legionnaire, what do you want to donate into?
Does that sum it up, Darkwood?
Yeah, pretty much. That's in a fucking nutshell. That's it.
Right?
If you can get the fucking box and carry the box and sling load the fucking box, you get the fucking Chinook that's inside it.
Right. What's Legionnaire saying?
But you know, once you get the box, once you get the box, though, everybody else can take the box from you.
No friends.
Right? So you better be cool. You better hope people around you you're a loved character. You're
Right.
like General Reynolds
Yeah.
of the, you know.
The F4 giveaway, everybody was buddy, helping each other out until the very end. Just so everybody knows. But it is a good time. It is a good time.
I wish I could make it.
You can't make it on the 20th?
No, I have work that I gotta do. It's one of the downsides.
There ain't and there ain't no fancy fucking jet. There ain't no
Shit.
fancy jets with no fancy fucking bombs.
You gonna make $50 on frickin' during work?
$50 to make you holla.
Yeah, I am.
Oh, okay. Gonna say if not, fucking take the day off.
Yeah. Well, I would if they weren't cutting back my hours to like 4 hours a week.
Right.
Legionnaire, if you do that, if you had to, Legionnaire, you're from Virginia, right? If you were out there turning left for 3 hours in a NASCAR, what number would be on the side of it?
Oh, I'm sitting here playing around, jacking shit around.
I knew you were gonna fucking say that, man. I knew it.
Perfect number.
I knew you were gonna say that.
Finally showed up.
Mine
on
too,
my...
Legionnaire.
So, are we ready to move on to the flame?
No. Is that like your personal number though? Is that like your personal number, Legionnaire?
I'm ready.
Oh, I just want to make sure we're ready to move on. Cliffs here. Get focused again. We got a little off base.
So what is Flaming Cliffs? I'm lost. Is this some kind of a game within a game?
It's fucking Aces High DCS.
Well, not really. Yes and no.
It completely is.
Hang tight. Hang tight. Here it comes. If you're watching my stream, you will see
Right.
You will see the video, and we're gonna talk through it, so don't ever anybody think that we're not gonna talk through it. And you know what? I not subscribed to fucking so there may be commercials.
Yeah.
Do you buy Cartoon Helicopter Network? Do what you can, when you can, how you can.
That's right.
Thank you for joining.
So the FC3 planes, or the Flaming Cliffs planes now, which is what I'm going to call them instead of FC3, are all actually pretty cool. There's nothing wrong with them. So this is just the trailer kind of showcasing everything that's in them. So you now get the F-86. low fidelity, not high fidelity, non-clickable cockpit, the F5, and the MiG-15.
I'm loving it.
Okay, if the MiG-15 doesn't have those gay brakes, I might buy it.
Right? Okay, so now we are gonna go through, because DCS has what is Flaming Cliffs 2023, and we're gonna do that real quick. Oh Jesus Christ, that was supposed to stop. I hit stop on that shit, man. I hate when that fucking shit don't hit stop.
What are you over there fucking doing with your life, dude? The patch notes.
Fucking patch notes.
It's the fucking patch notes.
Fucking patch notes. Hold tight, hold tight. Jump into this screen here real quick.
It's the fucking patch note.
Before we jump into what is start with.
You know, we might do something sexy like smoke a cigarette or have some chocolate.
Chocolate.
Some chocolate.
He's never
You
had
want some
chocolate
chocolate?
before. Never had chocolate. Holy shnikes, Legion. Thank you extremely a lot for your donation for our podcast.
Come on,
He wants his own. I was showing him my livery, man. He wants his own shit.
Right? Well, you just earned one. Just earned one.
He is wanting his.
You just earned one just from Nation CHN podcast. Make sure that and Darkwood split this.
I don't want nothing, man.
Dude, we're the ones freaking running this shit, man. Make sure that
I'm not. I'm just some white dude who plays DCS.
just a dude playing the friggin' DCS.
Disguised as a dude playing another dude.
All right.
We can't have our own soundboard, so we making our own soundboard.
So, with that being said, we're going to jump back to the desktop here, and we're going to see exactly what Eagle Dynamics has to say what FC2024 is. And we'll have our comments on it too.
Oh, Cooter just showed up. Cooter showed up down in the chat.
I'm gonna head
I
out
see
now.
that.
It was good being on with you guys.
Good talking to you, NASA.
Goodbye.
Good having me on.
Goodbye, young man. Goodbye, young bud.
I'll see you guys later.
Fuck off!
Is this...
Ain't I a stinker?
God, I hope...
groups in there.
I hope
Down
this...
below.
I hope this shit is actually playing sound what I am playing on the on the YouTubeage right now. If it's not, I'm gonna be pissed.
I gotta go to YouTube to see what you're playing.
I don't know if it is. I don't think it is. Fucking bunch of bullshit.
Oh, you're downloading Afghanistan, Cooter?
So
He's out there in the middle of fucking nowhere.
we gotta fix shit
don't think it-
apparently. So we'll put up the next preview, Afghanistan here. But
It's just catchy.
right? Exactly. That's the only reason I said that. It's Flaming Cliffs 2024 to me is fucking awesome. I'm not in any way, shape, or form a fixed wing pilot. We all know this. I started out Flaming Cliffs 3 only. Why? From the, recommendations of Grim Reapers and a couple other popular channels that I watched. Grim Reapers, basically, more than likely, mostly. And everybody was always saying, Flaming Cliffs 3, Flaming Cliffs 3. And what I found from Flaming Cliffs 3, just by flying the learner missions that you get from there, like with the F-15C and the A-10, those were the two that I was trying out the most. Start with. Within a week and a half, I bought the fucking Huey and never looked back to fixed wings until about 2 years later. So it just kind of all depends on the person, I guess. You know what I mean? Darkwood disappear on us or what? He fell out. Or did I fall out? What the fuck? Did I drop out of, Jesus Christ?
He said, "Did Darkwood disappear?"
Jesus Christ.
No, he disappeared. He gone.
I dropped out somehow.
Yep, there he goes. Or did I fall out?
Yeah, I fucking dropped out somehow. I dropped out
There you
somehow.
go, Streaks.
I have no idea how the fuck I dropped out, but I looked over at the screen. I'm like, oh, wait a minute. I'm the one that's not there. Because I wasn't hearing you
Right.
guys.
I was telling Darkwood, I was like, I told Darkwood, I was like, oh, or Darkwood said, Streak's gone. I said, no, well, he don't know because he's still talking.
Right? I don't know what the fuck's going on. I tell you, my software lately has just been fucking horrible. Especially when it comes to
Legionnaire said his frames on Afghan are terrible.
Oh, I bet.
Why don't we invite Legionnaire on? He's
playing.
Talking a lot.
He's in the middle of playing DCS.
I'm gonna invite him
And
anyway.
talking to us.
I'm gonna invite him anyway.
He's fucking multitasking.
I invited
What about
him.
TFS?
I invited him. He might fucking jump in. Well, I'm just waiting for fucking people to raise their hands. I'm watching. But
TFS is like one of the first people to download it today, man. I mean, he give us like a fucking from the street report.
Get your
Legionnaire,
asses in
TFS
here,
both
guys.
got the hands up.
Look at that. Look at that shit.
Y'all.
TFS is in. See, all you gotta do is raise
So what's the
your
word
hand,
on what's the word on the runway, bruh?
We want
So,
you
word on the
guys-
runway.
Hey,
Just finished
by
a
the
couple
way,
hours.
but let me interrupt for a second here, TFS.
Yeah, of course, go ahead.
Don't wait for us to invite. Raise your hand. There's a raise your hand thing in there. That's what lets us know if you guys actually want to jump in and talk. Even though you're just sitting
Oh,
there
hell yeah, I
listening,
love it.
Just so
By the
you
way,
know,
Streaker
for
Legionnaire
future-
still has his hand up.
future reference. Where? No, I invited him.
I
actually
see a green
invited him.
hand up, but okay.
Yeah, It's a black
He
hand.
invited me. I didn't know I
Hey,
had
Legionnaire
to
jumped in. I actually invited Legionnaire, and
Ah.
just like TFS. Both of them.
Welcome, Legionnaire. Welcome, TFS. TFS, you were the first one to download. Please give us an insight.
So, just gave a couple hours of flying in Afghanistan. Helicopters and the F4, put it at different various heights. I just recorded a lot. I'm going to put together a little bit of video. I think it's going to showcase everything. To be fair, I spent a lot of time dialing in my settings for my computer. It's a very powerful computer, 1400K, 4090, 64 gigabytes, 6400, all that, right? So for me, it seems very fair and very stable. There was a few areas where I got a little bit of, frame drops. However, it's nothing that I don't see usual in any of the other maps. So for me, I feel, my first, I thought this was way too early. But I checked out every airbase, every city. I flew for hours, and I think it's possibly one of the most beautiful maps, the area that's done so far at this time. I'm just trying to be honest, but I really enjoyed it. The mountains look like mountains. They don't just look like jagged hills. Everything's pretty good, and this was all in VR. So my settings were cranked as much as I could. I'm going to throw the video together. It's probably going to be a little long. I'm going to try and just kind of cut. But it's going to give everybody who hasn't been there or seen it themselves a nice little demonstration. There you go. Legionnaire's got it up actually live right now. It looks like, I don't know if it's stuttering from the live feed or if that's what he's saying.
Yeah,
way to go, Legionnaire. Thank you.
I can see that. I can see that, TFS. I can totally see that with the map. What I'm going to wait on is to wait and see if the popular servers actually use it. If they don't, I won't buy it.
No, I'm tired of deserts myself, but
yeah, I think when there's more done there, like Rotorheads, I don't know if they'd be able to pull it off because it would be a very short campaign. Contention or Enigmas, it would constantly probably just being a rotation,
Right.
Because it's large. It's definitely large, and you can see it, you can feel it. However, I don't know if it's large enough for those, persistent campaigns at this time. I mean, when there's going to be 4 quadrants done, it's going to be massive. But the mountain areas they look like they just go forever. There's really not too many areas that I found that were just bland forever. Everything always had at least something going on.
So it's not like the Cola map release.
I gotta be honest, I don't have Cola, so I can't compare. But everybody plays Syria right now, and
but
the good parts of Syria seem to be like the basic parts on so far what I've seen from Southwest Afghan.
I don't have Cola. I don't have Afghan. Right? They're the only maps I don't have that are released right now. And from what I have watched on YouTube videos and reviews and talks, Cola is probably the worst release map. Yeah. For fidelity wise.
I've seen that there's just kind of like
for fidelity wise. A lot of people bitch about the South Atlantic map, but as far as I've seen so far, I had no issues buying the South Atlantic map from the reviews. Looking at the Cola map, I'll see you in a couple of years, maybe.
Hey, how long is this going anyway?
For a while yet. You can go if you want, Todd, or Darkwood.
I mean, you can call me Todd 420.
You can
give a fuck.
You can dump if you want.
Just don't call me late for dinner. Right.
Guess what?
Right. I wanted to get me something to eat.
Guess what? You're late for dinner. See what I mean? You're late for dinner, brother.
Right.
No, you can dump if you want. I know this is running a little bit long. We're running about 2 hours at this point. We're gonna probably be going another half hour, 45 minutes, to be honest.
Ooh,
As far as I can see.
Lord, I'm way late.
All right. Well, I got your stream up. I'll holler at y'all tomorrow.
Roger that, Dark.
All right,
Oh,
see
man,
you,
be well.
bud.
Yeah, I'm gonna get this video together tonight. I'll put it out. I hope to try and get it under 10 minutes, but it's probably going to be like a 45-second cut at this location, 45-second cut at this location, and so on and so forth. A lot of footage from the Kiowa, a little bit from the Blackhawk, just because, you know, it's Afghan. And then the F4, and I put the F4 because a lot of people complain about, you know, frame rate issues in the F4 to begin with, and I was flying the F4 like 100 feet off the ground in populated areas. Seems pretty good, but again, very high NPC. Not trying to boast or anything, but just saying that there are areas where I had some frame drops, which means some people who don't have the time that they've spent dialing in a high NPC. I don't know. Hard to tell.
Right.
Well, I wouldn't say that I'm running a high-end PC anymore. Maybe like a few years ago it was. I'm running a 3080 with a Ryzen 5, I think. I'll have to go into my system and look. So when I first loaded in, I haven't tried to load into the Afghanistan map, like by just by myself or whatever, like making a mission or anything. But I'm on the through the Inferno server right now, and I mean I probably had to sit there for 6 or 7 minutes just for the textures to load in. But that also
Really?
yeah, but that could also be due to the fact that from everything that I'm looking at in DCS right now, after everything's loaded in, this map looks really nice, to be honest. It looks better than most of the maps I've seen.
Right.
There's a lot of detail, but there's also 50 other players in the server right now. I think this is like the highest pop server, like multiplayer server that's running it. I think there's a low level hell server running too for like the Casmo's running. I think that's his server. I'm not 100% sure. But there's 50 other people in here. The map is very high detail. So for people with lower end PCs, they might have issues running it at the moment. It may be different on like lower pop servers, something like that.
Right.
So I wonder why is that? Why would it release and have so much trouble from the audience that's paying for your modules? Why would you release something and have so much trouble?
See, here's I'm gonna go back to my Star Citizen bullshit, right? Here's what I have seen and learned from all that, right, where development is concerned. Okay, the playtesters, they see no issues, right? Or very minimal, where it's releasable. And you get it in the hands of players that don't play the shit how it's intended, find all these fucking issues. B, get into a higher count of players, which all of a sudden causes a bunch more issues. So they've got a say they have 8 or 10 test players playing on multiplayer. Hey, it works great. You get it in the hands of people playing 50 multiplayer, all of a sudden it's just garbage. Everything's broken. You see what I mean? So I defend where I need to defend, and I dog where I think I need to dog. You know what I mean?
Right.
And I can defend when shit's kind of broken when it first releases and they gotta put out a couple of hot fixes to fix it. But if it's completely broken, well, then I can't really defend that. You know what I mean? I like playing defense instead of being the asshole, to be honest with you. But lately with DCS, I've had to be the asshole. You know? And I really,
sometimes you got to be the voice of reason.
Right, and I don't like being that person, you know, as much as people think I do. I really don't. I like to be the guy that's go team, you know. But I'm not gonna white knight for a freaking company. You know what I mean? It just ain't gonna happen. That's all there is to it. You know, back to Star Citizen. If I know certain things that other people don't, I defend. If things are broken beyond reason and somebody's defending that, I'm like, you're a fucking idiot. You know what I mean? So I go both ways. I give you kudos when you deserve kudos. I defend when you need defending.
And dogging when they need to be dogged.
And
I get that.
And
that's cool.
Yeah, exactly. You know, I attempt at most times. I mean, sometimes I do just dog because I'm pissed off. But I attempt.
Naturally so.
Yeah, I attempt to give, you know, feedback, you know, that isn't like asshole-ish. I can't even think of the words right now, so look at me. Sitting here fucking drinking so much.
It's okay.
I'm drinking Southern Comfort, guys.
Nothing wrong with that.
And I'm old and fucking half dimension ridden in the first place, so we. Well, I didn't know you were half dimension ridden, so I'm lost of words.
Really?
I'm lost of words all the fucking time. But no, I mean, game developers, I get it. Shit breaks after you release it. It was just fine before you released it. I get it. I've heard that 1,500,000 fucking times. I get it. And, you know, I understand that too. I owned a roofing company. Guess what? Didn't fucking leak this time, but guess what? It leaked that time. You know what I mean? I get it. You know, when different aspects happen, different things happen. But at this point,
yeah, but
know,
why?
When I was a roofing company, though, okay, what made that happen during that aspect? Okay, we stopped doing that aspect and never had that issue again afterwards, after it was complete. Why is it game developers as a whole, not ED, game developers as a whole, every last flipping one of them always fall back on game development is hard. It's hard.
Because that's the catch-all. It's the easy out. That's why. It's the easy out.
Right.
Because nobody wants to say, oh, I fucked up.
You know,
My bad.
Yeah, shit happens. You know, yeah, every job is fucking hard. You know, I can't do your job, Sally.
I can train you.
I know you can train me. I'm an extremely trainable person. I usually learn extremely fast, by the way. But I'm just saying, I can't do your job right now. I couldn't do it. Couldn't do it.
Yeah.
I can't do a developer's job. That would take me an extremely long time to learn. I know this. Why? Because I've looked into their shit. And it looks like a bunch of fucking gobbledygook to me. To me. Not to a bunch of other people, but to me, it does look like a bunch of gobbledygook. I love what they do, and I love what they produce. But when you spend a bunch of money on shit and it's broken, then you're a little bit pissed. You know? That's where that ends up. It's just like, spend a bunch of money. Hey, yeah, I'm going to roof your house. You spend a bunch of money because it was leaking and it still leaks in the same fucking spot. How pissed are you going to be?
A lot.
Mm-hmm.
So we have Hound, CP, and Cooter downstairs. Can
Oh,
somebody
shit.
invite them up, see what they want to talk about?
You guys want to jump up or what? Raise your hands. If not, I'll just invite you anyway.
I don't see any hands. Cooter's up.
I don't either. I'm just
CP's up.
I'm just freaking throwing it up there. Just so you guys know for the future, there's a thing in there that you can raise your hand. Raise your hand.
Yeah, I saw it.
So if you want to
That
jump
probably
in,
don't sound good. My download's gonna get in the way.
who gives a shit?
CP's got his hand up too.
Yeah,
Cooter, welcome.
I gave him an invite. So,
I don't know. Am I getting through?
I think.
Oh yeah, you're here.
I think my audio is not working for my desktop. Is it?
Ugh.
I don't
Captain
think
Jack's
it is.
here.
The Jack.
I have no control. I'm just a guy.
Yeah, I'm fucking lost.
Welcome,
too.
Captain Jack
Okay.
and Cooter. Welcome to the
Legionnaire sharing
stream
his
working
screen
now?
right now. Yes.
Thank
yes, Legionnaire is sharing his screen right up there.
Oh, that's
Like-
pretty. Look at that.
Yeah, to me this looks awesome.
It does. What's it look like low level, like helicopter level? Good? You don't have to actually show us. It's just, I'm sure you've actually checked it out already. You know?
I haven't flown helicopter level yet, but I have been close to the ground.
Okay.
Let these textures load in real quick.
Yep.
What are the quadrants that haven't been done look like? Is there anything even there?
It looked like those video games from PS2 back in the day when you went outside the mappable world.
Right.
That's what I noticed. When
You
I
know
went
what?
there.
You know what? PS2 was the fucking shit for graphics back in the day, though. You know what I mean?
The rest
And
of
I
that-
know you're talking about
What's up,
going
guys?
outside of where the boundaries where you're supposed to be.
Many
Hey,
moons
PS2
ago.
was the shit though, for real.
It was. It was. Yeah, that was the last actual console that I ever bought was a PS2, by the way. Otherwise, I've been PC ever since.
Oh, those mountains look great.
I think
Mountains really do look good. They don't look like just hills that are huge. They look like mountains. It's
They
amazing.
actually look like mountains.
Right.
No, I mean,
And to be honest, I'm really excited for like the community to like start getting a hold of this and to start making missions where there's a lot of troops in contact. And,
Absolutely.
to be honest,
I
with
agree 1,000%. I think that's where the bread and butter of this is going to be.
To be honest with you guys, I was never concerned about the quality of the looks of the map. Never, not 1 second when they announced Afghanistan. My issue was
I didn't buy it because I didn't want.
After buying all these maps that I never use because I usually play multiplayer, am I ever gonna fucking use it? That's the only thought going through my head. It was the same thing with Cola.
I picked it up because
It was the same thing with Cola for me.
Yep, agreed.
And then I saw the reviews on Cola and I went, well, gee, wow, I'm really glad I didn't pick it up now. You know what I mean? But go ahead. I'm sorry for interrupting.
I picked it up because I assumed that there's going to be a lot of people super excited to make like, make like scenarios, dynamic scenarios, to where, kind of like most servers, like the popular servers are run right now.
Right.
Like make, missions and sorties, whatever. That's like, the GWAT era type stuff. And I'm sure there's going to be people that's going to make dynamic campaigns for like the 80s, like when the Soviets were in Afghanistan, stuff like that. Like I'm really excited for the possibilities. The map is beautiful. I don't think there's going to be a shortage of multiplayer servers running Afghanistan.
Okay.
I think the biggest issue is individuals that aren't running high spec PCs. Like right now, they might have a little bit of trouble running it, so then they might not want to play it.
Oh, gotcha.
I think the biggest.
I can understand that shit. I can totally understand that shit. I mean, up until about a year ago, and now I'm down to a mid-range PC again. But like a year ago, I finally bumped myself up to a fucking high-end PC, and then fucking I'm mid-range. Because now I'm a 5900X with a 3090, and now I'm still mid-range.
It doesn't take much.
Right.
Yep.
Exactly.
But, it's like
I gotta
said,
go. I'll catch you guys later.
Have a good night.
Talk to you later, Sally.
So, for me, when I first loaded in, I was having frame issues. Like, it took a hot minute for it to actually load the map.
Right.
And what's concerning to me about it is like, that whole little, I guess, from like this grid square. I don't know if you're looking at the stream or not.
Yep, I'm watching it.
But from like this grid square, I think, to either this one or this one. I think this is like this over here is like the whole detailed area, I think, and then the rest of it isn't. So if this one quadrant is causing that much of an issue, then I can only imagine what it would be like if they just had the whole map.
Right.
But I'm super pumped because they finally fixed my F-15 radar.
Yeah.
Now, with that, to be fair, one of the issues that was actually mentioned, and already reported is the in-game menu, that new menu, the dynamic menu that's supposed to be allowed, that servers could adjust. It's crashing a lot of servers. It's crashing a lot of people's PCs. So in the initial load up, that seems to be a major issue. Some of the servers are seeing a little bit of performance increase if they turn that off and revert back to the old slot menu selection screen. However, I was reading in the forums, they've already recognized that there is some kind of massive lag bug that is attached to when first loading in due to the menu. So it might be that several minute window to get in, might just be the actual bug on the back end of them just having to figure out whatever is going on with that new menu that it's the first time they're implementing it. Because if you notice, none of the menus are working. Like nobody's using that slot section because it's just crashing people's servers or PCs.
Right.
Possible. I mean, I don't know. I'm just throwing that out there. It's a caveat. I'm just putting it out there.
Well, and
Sounds
then
like a massive memory leak.
and then at the same time, first release implementation of the map. You know, when they come back next patch, if it's like a month from now, 6 weeks from now, whatever, and they've gathered a bunch of data and figured it out, there are going to be a ton of, just like with the F4, performance increases. That's going to be the majority of your next patch for this map, just like it was for the F4 on the first patch after its release. It was all about optimizing performance, you know, and I get that. I get that.
Right. Not only that, yeah, and not only that, if you guys remember back to when if you guys remember back to when they released like the 2024 and beyond stuff, one of the major talking points was about, you know, and it's not just about, you know, just the Afghanistan map or a specific module or this, that, and other. One of the biggest talking points was the optimization options that they're supposed to be adding to DCS itself.
Right.
I mean, they're going to be dumping the standalone. They're going to full multi-thread, right? So they're out of the stable. There's no longer open beta, and now they're getting rid of the standard eventually soon and moving to multi-thread only. I mean, they definitely are focusing on that. You think? I believe they said they are, at least.
Right. And to be fair, once more, I watch a lot of fucking videos, man. Whether it be DCS or PC hardware or this game or whatever, right? Me trying to learn how to do shit, right? The one thing that I did watch one time was somebody talking about moving from single thread to multi-thread for a video game. And that was an actual, you know, actually knows how to do this shit at least. And they're like, that is a fucking major feat in itself. You know, just to change it from single thread to multi-thread. And they were actually talking about DCS, if I remember right. And they're like their first implementation of it whenever it came out. What was it? Probably 8-9 months ago already? A year ago? Close to a year, about 9 months ago. And they were actually really impressed of how well that they implemented the multi-threading, because they're like, you're not a programmer, you don't understand how hard it is to go from single thread to multi-thread.
I think I've seen that video. The gentleman was talking about how they were using multi-thread back in 20, 30 years ago, and how it was like damn near impossible. even today, it seems like it's just as difficult, right? That's the same. I think I know what you're talking about. I think I've seen that.
I think so. He was impressed at how well it worked on their first iteration. You know, so like I always say, I'm not here to dog Eagle Dynamics. I do dog developers, yes, because they always want to fall back on their crutches. You know what I mean? But I do understand the trials and tribulations that it comes to game developments too. I don't know what it is personally. I understand though. But you use what you learn with common sense and you kind of fall in between there. It's like with anything else in life, you know. People are gonna bullshit you if they can bullshit you, and you gotta kind of drop in between there. I mean, I don't know if you guys agree with me or not, but it's...
I mean, regardless of what anybody agrees on, we're just going to have to wait and see what happens.
True. Here's one thing we can all agree on, I think. Regardless of what we think of this patch right now, they're going to fix it. It's going to be good. Everybody's going to be happy eventually. Is that going to be in the next 30 days? Maybe. 60 days? Maybe. 90 days? Maybe. But it isn't going to be a year from now. It's going to be 30, 60, 90 days from now. They're going to fix all the things that are screwed up right now. And everybody's going to be happy with the stuff, as far as I'm concerned. I don't know what anybody else thinks on that, but that's what I think.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, realistically, the game's been around for what, 15 years now?
Mm-hmm.
I don't even know, 12 years. It's not broken. It's playable. It's always been at times broken for a period, but it's always playable. You know, yesterday I installed a new program and nothing worked in my game anymore. I spent 2 hours fixing it all, and I was super happy. And then the update comes out, and now this is broken. You know, I got into this knowing that that's what it is, and I've got pretty damn good at troubleshooting and having some fun. In the end, once you get it running, you know, would we have a month straight of just absolute perfect performance, in my opinion?
Right.
From the last update that got, 2 months.
Right.
What'd you install that broke it?
So a couple things, actually. I'm messing around right now with the HTTC. Yeah. I keep pushing the limits. I'm messing around with my sim shakers. I don't know what's going wrong, but somehow something's messing with my audio. And once I got that figured out, I also used Process Lasso finally to help limit the cores on the 14100K because there were some issues with that. And HTTC, it's like hand tracking app for the Quest 3. And I have something that's coming for me that's similar to like point control. So I played with that program a little bit, and then I broke a couple things. I'm figuring it all out. But if you have a hand trackable capable headset like the Quest 2, Quest 3, and a couple of the Pimaxes, the Quest Pro, or anything with leap motion, HTTC allows you to actually use your hands and your fingers to manipulate the controls like your mouse click in the cockpit. The problem is it's a little finicky, so they have something that's similar to a point control, if you're familiar with it, where it's a button on your finger. So when you put your finger or point it somewhere, it's recognizing where it is in the cockpit, and it can manipulate the button, but instead of using it in that finicky way with the tip of your finger flickering up and down, you just use your thumb and you kind of press on your knuckle where there'll be a button. So it works really, really well. I'm going to do a review on that probably about a week from now.
Nice.
Good to know. I don't do VR.
I
Well, don't
I
try
was-
it, because if you try it, you might not go back.
Yeah,
Well, I
yeah.
did. I have a reverb, and it was just a shit show. You know, it's been a couple of years,
Oh.
and I just hung it on the wall and haven't got back to it.
See,
It's the only reason I got the 4090, because I had the 3080 Ti and it worked well. Everything was fine. Game ran fine. I just couldn't see far. I couldn't see well. Ran fine with lower settings. And I don't know, the addiction hit me and I had to do it. This game's like sky therapy for me. So
well,
I'm willing to invest.
when it comes to VR with me, freaking Darkwood sent me, he was like, you gotta try VR. I'm like, wow, unless I have like $3,500 extra spending cash, ain't gonna happen. I need like a bio arrow with fucking pass through that I can fucking see what the fuck's going on type shit, you know? And he sent me a...
That's what that, by the way, sorry to interrupt real quick. That's what that program also does, is if you have a cockpit, there's another program you'd need. But if you have an actual cockpit and you're playing in VR, you could actually outline your cockpit perfectly, rendering the outside world of the game only outside your cockpit. So you could see your actual hands touching your actual buttons. Continue.
Right.
I apologize.
See, and that's kind of what I said, because I'm like, I got to be able to see chat. I need to be blah, 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 blah. What the hell did he send me again? Oh my God. Old ass. Before the Quest. What the hell was that?
The Rift,
Yes.
The,
he sent me a Rift, not even a
Oculus
Rift 2.
CV1.
Not even a Rift 2. He sent me a Rift, right? He said, well, here,
The
try
Rift
it out.
CV1, great headset, super light.
He said, try it out. You know, he sent me a Rift. I still got it here. You know, and he sent me a Rift.
Somebody sent me a message. I don't know how to reply.
It took me. He kept asking me, "Have you tried it out? Have you tried it out yet?" After I received it, it took me 7 days to even hook it up. Because I'm like, I know I'm just really not going to like it that much, right? After about 7 days, I finally hooked it up and put everything on. I was hooked without even ever getting into DCS by seeing that stupid fucking robot in the intro of the Rift. Done. I was over. I'm hooked. I'm hooked on freaking VR at that point. And then,
I flew with it for a little.
Then I tried DCS, and I was like, was it a week or two later? I looked on Facebook Marketplace, found myself a Pimax 5K XR, picked it up for $200. It was brand new, had the stickers on the lenses yet. Open box. I was pretty skeptical on that until I received it, to be honest with you, but $200. Boom. That's what I use. And I can't get enough VR when it comes to DCS especially.
I understand that.
There's other games
And
I like.
I believe that
into,
anybody who's super into the VR should at least invest in the haptic seat pad or the do-it-yourself sim shakers. You can do it for under $100, maybe $200, but that haptics, like I've tried motion, and it's something that I'm currently trying to figure out. And motion obviously hits the senses. You really don't need much motion to really add to that VR.
Oh,
But the
I bet
haptics,
not.
if you have them set up appropriately, it gives you that same feeling. And I swear, so I have the seat pad that vibrates, and then I have 100-watt transducers below my rig attached to the controls, collective and everything, cyclic, and I have them actually independently vibrate from each other. So sometimes they'll vibrate the same for something, and then I'll dedicate a different audio or effect to the cockpit essentially. So for instance, I'll have the RPMs of the rotor whirl high or low, affect a certain way. So I'll actually feel VRS coming in, or a stall, or ETL, or whatever. And then if I hit my chaff or a flare, or if I shoot a rocket, I'll actually have the rig itself vibrate separate from the chair, because what that does, it's like if you're driving and you almost, I don't know, if you had something on your roof of your car and you felt it fall off, right? You feel it separately. Like you can kind of tell where it fell from. Like, oh, my back right tire just hit something. You didn't see the pothole, but you feel it. You know, I have that now because I'll have a vibration happen on the right side when a Hellfire releases.
Right.
You know, and the left side will flutter a little bit differently because I just changed my weight. But my seat vibrates with the rotor whirls independently. And that right there is more than enough to absolutely trick me several times into thinking I'm actually banking hard enough where I may fall out the window, because on the Kiowa I'm actually constantly leaning out the
Right.
cockpit to get away from the glare. And it tricks my
Right.
brain. You know, maybe it's just my brain,
Right.
but if you add proper haptics, it's like motion, I swear.
Dude,
That's pretty cool. I'm actually really, really interested in that. I had one question though. Sorry, I didn't mean to like jump in there. But I had a
not
question.
at all.
You were talking about a program for hand tracking for the Quest 3. What is that? I've been looking for something. I can't find anything.
I will send it to you. So there is, and then if that's the case, if you like that, I get I'll show you my, you know, we can go over it a little bit individually, but I'll show you the little finger trackers with the buttons that I was talking about, aside from point control. I have the Discord for it, and I have the GitHub. I'll send it to you. I'll find it in just a second.
Thanks, man. I really appreciate that. Yeah, because
you know the guy Fred who made Open Kneeboard?
Yeah.
It's his project. So it's called HTCC. I apologize. Before I mentioned it was HTTC. It's HTCC. I'll send it to you. And essentially it just activates the hand tracking cameras while you're in the game and tracks your fingers perfectly. Like literally, I was playing with it last night where I interlock my fingers, you know, like that old, you know, this is the church, this is the steeple, open it up, these are the people, you know, that whole old saying. I don't know if any of you know that.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
But I interlock my fingers, and I literally am wiggling my pinky and my middle finger on each hand, and it's recognizing it, because now with the new update on the Quest 3, the hand tracking is unbelievable. And the pass-through is phenomenal now. I don't know if you got V67 yet, but they're rolling it out slowly since last Monday.
Yeah.
So adding that with the hand tracking, it's phenomenal. It works unbelievably well. The downside is if you, like, let's say you have the virtual reality cockpit memorized perfectly. If you reach down to the left and you want to, like, you know, hit the master arm on a Huey, your hand is not being paid attention to, because there's no like lighthouse or any kind of tracking. So you have to physically look down to your left, see your hand in order for it to track, if that makes sense. Where if you have an actual cockpit to your left and you have muscle memory on where to switch, that obviously is better, but it's pretty cool.
That's way cool. Yeah, because there's a couple of, like, I have a lower cockpit, but some of the upper switches I'd like to be able to hit individually, and I have to grab the controller every time.
Right. That's what I was doing for a long time. And now with this, the platform itself is free. It works, right? But like I said, it's very finicky. It's very, you know, touch and go. Sometimes you're putting your hand up there and you're just slapping every switch, and you're like, no, because you didn't, like, you know how with the gestures on the Quest 3, when you touch your pointer finger and your thumb finger, it understands that you're doing that.
Yeah.
Sometimes, you know, the finger is blocked or it thinks that you're touching it, so it's a little messed up. That other program that I'll be testing here, I'll show you some pictures and videos and whatnot when I sent out the review. It's pretty cool. And what's his name? Miles, who does point control, is working on a Quest Lite, the point control Lite for the Quest 3. It's going to be about $50-$60, and it's the same thing that I'm talking about. And it's only really for the Quest 3, and it's exactly that. It tracks your hands perfectly, and when you get over something, you just press your thumb up against your finger, and you actually press a little button, and boom, it activates as a mouse click left. And if you press there's 3 buttons on it. So there's button right click, button left click, and then you can switch it to scroll left or right. So there's a setting in the middle that'll allow you to set up, if you press the right button now, it's going to be scroll. That takes some used to, getting used to, but it's definitely in VR the most immersive way. And I've seen people put like cardboard and like map out the cockpit in cardboard and add like a little touch of memory foam over it. So that way, when they reach out and they touch something, they're actually getting that tactile feedback for the distance that they've rendered for how far this is from me. So you could literally make like a cardboard cockpit or make it out of plastic or, you know, whatever that
That's
that
pretty
foam
cool.
is. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I might do that. You know, I don't know. We'll see.
Hey guys, well thanks for the info. Dinner's ready. Dinner's ready. I gotta get out of here. But it was a good show, and we'll see you guys later.
You gotta have a good night. I'll send you that Discord.
Appreciate you, bro. Thanks.
Yep, I'm out too. Download's done. Got to go get stuff set up.
It's been real.
We'll see you guys later.
Strigger, that was Captain that was asking about that, correct?
Oh boy, everybody left me when I went and took a whiz real quick. I didn't want to interrupt their discussions. But with that being said, I guess we're going to end the podcast here. And thank you all very much for watching. And Legionary, thank you very much for the donation. And I'll have to get in contact with you a little bit later, and we're going to discuss a few things. And everybody have a wonderful evening.